from a functional standpoint, get it. But if you can give me most features that I do use daily on a smaller footprint, and it's now just as compatible, just as capable, I mean, there's an elegance to that.
That reminds me of something else I wanted to talk about, kind of in that same subject of performance differences. But I ran a Twitter poll, which, Nick, is a way that people can vote and let them know what they would do.
Is that how we're doing the elections this year?
Yeah, it's just going to be on Twitter.
Can you imagine?
The government's just going to put up a Twitter poll and we'll just base it off whatever the results are.
At government.
I got 6,200 votes about which iPhone people are going to get.
Oh.
And the results were very, very different from what I was anticipating.
I did vote on that one. Yeah, I remember that one.
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get my absentee ballot.
So the largest chunk, at 43% of the votes, was iPhone 12 Pro Max.
Duh.
The most expensive, largest phone.
Duh. This is
most
the tech
people voted that.
Drew.
At second place, 26%, iPhone 12 Pro, the 6.1-inch, more expensive
Pro.
one.
Okay.
Third place at 19% was the smaller iPhone 12, the 5.4-inch model. And at dead last at 12% was the iPhone 12 Max, which I know it's the tech community, but I just found it interesting that people voted basically the opposite, almost the exact opposite of what we expected to sell well.
Well, this is the best phone, Randy. Highly recommend people get the biggest one because bigger the better.
The most expensive.
Exactly.
But it had me thinking, maybe, like, because of the price point and because, like we talked about, I think the main reason people were buying plus-sized iPhones before was because of the camera. And they wanted to get the better camera, the better battery life. But do you guys think there's a chance that the 5.4-inch tiny iPhone 12 will actually become close, or if not the most popular model, just from the price point and the fact that there's not much hardware advantages to go with the 12 Max? If the cameras are the same, the chip is the same, the modems are the same, only difference is size. Could we see a resurgence of the small iPhone?
If you are not putting 5G on it and the price is a thing, yeah. If the only difference camera-wise, because that's the first physical tangible thing people can see and experience with it. If the only change between the Pro and the regular 12 is LiDAR, I don't think that many people are going to buy into LiDAR. To tell you the truth,
No.
not this year.
I still don't know what to use with my LiDAR chip.
That's exactly my point. You are the. I'm talking to you, Nick. You are the sample. The sample of how the iPad is going to perform and behave. And have you put some cool stuff up? Yes. Have you showcased some cool things? Yes. Do you use it daily? Has it enriched your life? No. And so it's more
Have
like
I only used it the times that I've shown people I'm using it? Yes.
Yes. So gimmicky.
That's what it's good for.
I put it as a gimmick
Very
right
much so.
now. The same way, at once I thought the very first iPad was a bit gimmicky for what it was, just for that iteration, and I think that's what LiDAR is now. And something cool will come down a couple of years from now. I do believe that. But this year in 2020, the year of all things bad, I don't think LiDAR is a selling point. So for me on that voting poll, if that's how it's going to play out, then I would get the 5.4. But if there is
really.
Yes.
Wow.
If there was something hardware specific that I think would better. If LiDAR gives me video bokeh, I'm going with the Pro.
Okay. That's all it would take.
Yes.
Okay. But when it comes to just ignoring the Pros for a second, if we're comparing the 6.1-inch to 5.4-inch, do you think from price alone, because there's probably, I think it's safe to assume there will be at least $100 difference between those two models. Do you think more people would put up with a very small iPhone? We haven't had an iPhone this small in a long time. This is actually...
We're back, baby.
We're back, baby. When they compare it to the dummy models, which the dummy models are accurate when it comes to size, not aesthetics, but when it comes to the physical size, they're accurate. The 5.4-inch iPhone 12 is smaller than the recently announced SE. It's a smaller footprint than that.
One of the only
That's
things
so
I've
cool.
seen on the internet this week was Marquez's video comparing the
okay.
two. And
Can I just say for a
Yeah.
moment, Marquez, hi, if you're watching this. We love you. Love your videos. Awesome content. There was so much wrong in his iPhone 12 video. I was just, the whole time watching it, I was like, no. Whatever. I know he's probably got contacts. You know, he just interviewed Craig. Maybe it's in his best interest to not be super accurate. But
What happened?
basically, there was no acknowledgement that there are 4 iPhone 12s. He treated it as if there were 3. He also, I mean, the dummies are not that accurate when it comes to design because they still have the 3 cameras on the back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
pretty much every leak has confirmed that the Pros have LiDAR, so it won't look like this. It'll look probably more like a square 4 cameras. However it looks, I'm not sure, but it won't look like the dummies. And he talked about I don't think he talked much about them being OLED. I don't recall that being mentioned, the fact that OLED would be standard. He also said the middle size would be 6.2 inches. I don't know where he got that number. I've never seen it leaked anywhere, but pretty much every leak I've seen so far has all agreed that it's 6.1 for the middle size. And we didn't talk much about Face ID being the size of the notch or anything. I don't know. There's just a bunch of stuff. I haven't watched it recently, but I just remember rewatching it being like, how did you not like pay attention to every single leak that there's been so far? I don't know.
Maybe he's purposely,
just
like you
bizarre.
said, conspiracy tinfoil hat. Maybe he's purposely deflecting and putting out decoys. Not intentionally, like he's an insider for Apple, but the fact that's like, if Apple watches his video, which they do, and then
They definitely do.
Yeah, if they watch, he's like, "Huh, he's reporting wrong information," so they're gonna be really surprised when they see the real one,
Yeah.
as opposed to reporting the right information. And Marquez knows he's reporting the right information, and then you're gonna have a pissed off Apple on your hands, and all of a sudden now they're gonna be like, "Hey, guess what? But we ran out of models this year."
We're gonna give the exclusive interview of Craig to the Tailosive Tech podcast next year because Marquez, you leaks too much.
So the
Yeah,
thing is, I
right.
think I can see that happening. I can see that, like conspiracy wise, I can see that being a thing. But I feel that to go back to your original thing, I think cost is everything, and your average consumer, not the YouTuber, the actual average consumer, they see the price. Oh, $5.99. $6.99. Oh, I'm just making numbers up, but you know what I mean. Like, oh,
Yeah, it
cheaper.
won't be that.
What's the difference? Oh, okay. Sizes are the same.
That one's bigger.
Huh? Yeah, that one's bigger. Oh,
That's the
storage
only
is the
difference.
same. Photos are the same. iOS is iOS. I just need it to work, and it's smaller, so I can finally put this thing in my pocket. I've had people complain. I remember relatively bigger people too, like tall, like maybe not as tall as you guys, but they're tall people, and they're like, yeah, I like the smaller one just because pockets and it's a phone. It's not.
One-handed.
Yeah, they're just
easily.
like, I got a laptop. I don't need big thing. And they're like, all right, cool. So
Yeah.
just a preference thing. Some people still have always, loved the smaller form factor, and me being one of those people. I think the only way iPhone 12 Max will sell more is if
Maybe battery?
yeah, no, well,
I'd say that's the best argument for the
when
12 Max.
when they
other
when they
than
announce
screen.
it, if they show you something iOS 14 exclusive with a new form factor iPhone that gives you a better, it'd be the crappier equivalent of like, hey, you have in-app control for camera settings and stuff like that. I could see something. If they give you something for, here's why you want the bigger screen over the smaller screen. We'll give you smaller screen for both pros and regulars, but if you get the bigger one, which would still matches the iPhone 12 Pro Max or regular 12 Pro, but if you get the bigger one, if there's something that's exclusive that won't fit on such a small screen real estate, then I can see maybe making an argument. But realistically, the people who are just upgrading, just to upgrade and buy just to buy, cost is everything. Battery matters,
Yeah.
but we've seen them really bridge the gap of the battery performances over the last couple
True.
years.
iPhone
cost.
SE battery is not horrible. I mean, it's not great, but it's comparable.
It's better than
I got
iPhone
through it.
8.
It never died on me.
There you go.
It never died on me when I used it. It came close. I was ending the day at 5%, but it never died on me.
So, after watching Marquez's video, and again, there might be inaccuracies that I'm not aware of, I was actually considering, and this was for a brief moment, but it's kind of in there in the back of my head, maybe I will seriously look at the smallest iPhone Pro, the not Max one.
The
Just 'cause
12
it
point.
looks-
Sorry, the 6.1 inch.
No, the 5 point something or other. The real small.
Oh, the
one.
really really small iPhone.
The really small one. That's still a Pro, right?
No.
No,
Oh, that's not a Pro. Okay.
it's 5.4 inch and 6.1 inch for the
So
cheap ones, and then
confusing.
6.1 and 6.7 for the pros.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I'll have to look at that small one because I haven't been using my phone the way that I used to use my phone during this whole quarantine life. I've been using my Mac for work. I've been using my iPad for entertainment, and I've been using my phone for a few random things throughout the day. And I also have the iPhone 10, and that thing is a lot more comfortable to hold. And I know I'm a big guy, but that basically means I can do the four-corner thing on the iPhone 10. So if that even smaller one, I can even easierly do the four-corner thing, like...
Easierly.
Easierly?
That's a great word.
Thank you. I just made it up. Copyright Mickey and Sweeney 2020.
Easier.
Bigly.
Bigly phone.
Anyway,
Okay,
I
people.
might consider doing the small one, just because my uses of a phone have kind of shifted. Like it used to
I want
be
to try it.
when I worked at an office and was out and about all day. Like my phone was my primary consumption, creation, communication device. But now it's not. It kind of sits over there so I don't get distracted most of the day.
I'm still counting on a staggered release this year. I'm still pretty sure they're going to have the 12 and 12 Max come out, and then maybe later the 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max, like a month goes by, and then they release those. If they do something like that, which I'm pretty sure they will, I would love to just switch to the 5.4 inch 12 for a little while before getting the Pro Max, just to see what it's like to use a phone that small, because that was my immediate thought process when switching to the SE, which was like, okay, this form factor is really small and compact and comfortable. It's the dated, the bezels, the home button, the Touch ID, and all that. If we were able to get the gestures, the OLED, the Face ID, all on a phone of that size, and this one's supposed to be even smaller than the SE, I was like, that'll be interesting. That'll basically be like, remember 2 years ago when everyone was talking about the SE2 and it would look like an iPhone 5 but with all display front, and it
I would
looked
have
like
loved
an
that.
iPhone 10. That's basically what they're making. They probably saw
Which is
all of
why
that
I'm
hype.
so sold.
Yeah. They saw all of that hype around the SE2, and they're like, okay, well, that won't be an SE, but we can do, squared edges, small form factor, Face ID, notch, and gesture control. Like, I can see all that happening now. So because of the price point, you're right. Price matters, I think, first among everybody. And if there's not some big camera difference, and I think there's a decent chance that battery life won't even be that big a difference, because A14 chip will be more power friendly, and it won't have a big battery inside it because it's small, but it won't need one because of how little power the A14 chip consumes. So I could see a ton of people being like, yeah, this is enough. This is fine. I'll go smaller if it's better.
Yeah.
And it's more pocketable, and then Androids will feel really big for everyone. Because all the Android flagships are like 6 inches plus.
There's something just
6 inches is average, Drew.
Mm-hmm. Average.
There's something elegant about about 6 inches that just you hold in your hand, right, Nick? Who's gonna bleep
I'm
this one?
6.5. Okay.
I wonder who's gonna come in and is like, hey, I just love holding beep. It's 6 inches in the hand, so comfortably the beep. Yeah, funny. So,
It's not the length.
Stop it.
It's the size of your bezel.
It's the size of your bezel. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Woo. Gentlemen, you're making me blush. Okay. Wow. Coming back from that, how do I even, why are you making it so hard for me to transition back? Okay, so that's what she said. Anyway, love you. There's something elegant about a smaller phone in the sense that I think for me and there could be overlap of different communities and stuff like that, but I think for me, I obsess about design in the sense that seamless design is what I obsess about. I love seamless designs. And
Keep talking, Johnny. I mean, Randy.
a seamless design is something that's integrated not only with look at you, goosebumps.
Yeah, getting tingles in my spine.
Is it still 6.1 inches for you, Nick? The phone?
I could grow a little.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh, like this has to get cut. All right, so
We're going back to the glass sandwich. You
going
look
back-
like iPhone 4 days.
there's something elegant about for me. What I was getting at is that from a minimalist point, that you have to get creative, and I feel. I know I've talked about it, and we've even touched on it here. You have to, as a minimalist, you have to get creative with things, and it exercises a certain part of your brain. And Drew,
Right.
you've even talked about it in a way when you start downsizing things in your office or your house. You have to get
It's
creative.
lovely.
It's
nice.
It's nice, and that same appeal on a product that you are so intimate with. I'm using keywords, Nick. I know you like these words.
I didn't say anything.
I know. Well, that you're so intimate with every single day. There's something just captivating about it. It's easy to make a big display and throw everything in there and have all the specs that you want. And I do, from a functional standpoint, get it. But if you can give me most features that I do use daily on a smaller footprint, and it's now just as compatible, just as capable, I mean, there's an elegance to that because... Like I said, I don't think I'm going to use LiDAR, so that's, for me, it's already out the window, and I've always upset. It's the reason why I love AirPods. It's the reason why one of my favorite products is the Apple Watch. It's the exact same concept. I love those things. I appreciate my iMac. I appreciate my iPad, and those are cool products, and I do use them daily. But there's an emotional response that you get when you're wearing your watch or even AirPods that they just work, and even the iPhone.
Right.
Time and time again, and I think you're going to see that creativity. I don't think people will be able to put it into words the way I'm trying to put it into words like that, but that's why people are going to gravitate towards something so small. You did all this in a small form factor. That's their version of saying what I just said, because we are interested of new territories. How did you make that work? Why Nick, who loves, bigger's always better, was his catchphrase for, last season. Like, he wants to gravitate towards that because it's awesome.
There's a little bit there. There's a little spark. We'll see if the fire smolders into something bigger, but it was a spark.
Okay.
Something bigger isn't something smaller.
I hope not that goes against it.
A big step for small. Apple.
That is the tagline for the 12s, Drew.
They'll have all kinds of
the smallest
I love their
iPhones.
taglines.
I know, smallest. Period. iPhone. Period. Phone. Period. I don't know.
Smallest iPhone phone. There was one section that I died at when they launched the iPhone SE. There was a section where it was like, and longer battery life for, movies. Period. That's literally on the website today.
Really?
And I'm still so confused.
How
what
dare
that
you
is
disrespect
supposed to mean.
movies like this, Apple?
And
Movies.
I'm looking at it right now. It's right next to the Elephant Queen. Up to 2.5 hours longer battery life for, movies. I'm just imagining Johnny Ive read that.
Oh, well, that was a good show. If you made it to the end of this video, that means you're either a really big fan or you fell asleep halfway through it. Either way, please click the subscribe button and check back here for sure weekly videos, if not a little bit more than weekly videos on both tech and EV with some Twitch streams mixed in. If you don't like anything about this show, please feel free to let us know in the comments below. That's really important that you get all of your anger down in the comments below, and make sure to direct it at Randy, because I know he doesn't watch to the end of the videos.